Do you ever feel you are floating through in life, far from the person you aspire to be? Around New Year's, you vow to shed bad habits and adopt good ones, believing this time will be different. We've all been there. We set ambitious goals for ourselves, full of hope and determination. We picture a better, healthier, more productive version of ourselves. But then life gets in the way. Our initial motivation fades. We hit a wall and struggle to see any real progress. This can be incredibly disheartening. It can make us question our ability to change at all. But what if I told you there's a better way? What if lasting change isn't about making huge leaps or forcing ourselves into uncomfortable transformations? What if the key lies in the small, almost unnoticeable adjustments we make each day? This is the core idea behind Atomic Habits. Before we dive into the video, please kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you. Chapter 2, Tiny Adjustments, Big Outcomes. Imagine a plane taking off from Los Angeles, a bustling city known for its vibrant culture and endless opportunities, destined for New York City, another iconic metropolis filled with dreams and ambitions. Now picture the pilot slightly adjusting the plane's course by just a few degrees. It seems like a minor tweak, almost insignificant. To the passengers, this change is barely perceptible. They continue to read, sleep, and chat, unaware of the subtle shift. The flight continues as usual. Flight attendants serve drinks and snacks, maintaining the routine. However, over the course of the journey, this tiny adjustment will lead the plane hundreds of miles off course, veering it away from its intended path, landing it in a completely different city, far from the original destination. This is the power of small changes over time. What seems trivial in the moment can have monumental effects in the long run. Just like that airplane, our daily habits, even the seemingly insignificant ones, have the ability to dramatically alter the trajectory of our lives. Whether it's a new exercise routine, a slight change in diet, or a few minutes of daily reading, these small actions accumulate. The problem is, we often underestimate the impact of these small changes, especially in the short term. We expect immediate results and get discouraged when we don't see them. But remember, it's the consistent, tiny adjustments that lead to big outcomes over time. Chapter 3, The Power of Compounding. We often expect to see immediate, dramatic results from our efforts. When we don't, we get discouraged. But real change happens gradually, like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, the snowball is small, its growth barely noticeable. But as it continues to roll, picking up more snow with each rotation, it gains momentum and size. Before long, the snowball transforms into a powerful force. This is the power of compounding. Small changes, repeated consistently over time, create a remarkable impact. Just like with investing money, the earlier you start building good habits, the more time they have to compound and yield exponential results. Chapter 4, Navigating the Valley of Disappointment. Building new habits, however, is not always a smooth upward climb. In fact, it's common to experience what's known as the Valley of Disappointment. This is the period where we've been putting in the work, but we haven't yet seen significant progress. We might feel tempted to give up, to convince ourselves that our efforts are futile. This is where patience and persistence are crucial. We need to remember that real change takes time. It's about trusting the process and staying committed to our habits, even when we don't see immediate results. The key is to focus on showing up consistently, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Chapter 5, Systems over Goals. Too often, we get caught up in setting goals without considering the systems that will get us there. Goals are about the results we want to achieve. Systems are about the processes that drive those results. A goal might be to lose 10 pounds, but the system is the daily habit of eating healthy meals and exercising regularly. Focusing on goals alone can be limiting. Once the goal is achieved, we might lose motivation. Systems, on the other hand, are about the long game. They're about building sustainable habits that become part of who we are. Chapter 6, The Cycle of Habits. To effectively build new habits, it's essential to understand the underlying mechanism that drives them, the habit loop. This loop consists of 4 stages: cue, craving, response, and reward. The cue triggers your brain to initiate a behavior. This could be a specific time of day, a particular location, or even an emotional state. The cue triggers a craving, which is the motivational force behind the habit. The response is the actual habit you perform, and the reward is the satisfying feeling you get afterward. This reward reinforces the habit loop, making it more likely you'll repeat the behavior in the future. Chapter 7: Awareness and Specificity. The first step in changing our habits is becoming aware of them. This means taking a closer look at our daily routines and identifying the patterns that we follow, often without even realizing it. What are the cues, cravings, responses, and rewards that make up your current habits, both good and bad? Understanding these components can help us see why we do what we do and how our habits are formed. Once we're aware of our habits, we can start to make conscious choices about which ones we want to cultivate and which ones we want to eliminate. This awareness gives us the power to take control of our actions and make deliberate changes. It's also important to be specific about the habits we want to build. Vague goals can be hard to achieve because they lack clarity and direction. Instead of saying, "I want to exercise more," specify what that looks like. For example, you might decide, "I will go for a 20-minute walk every morning before work." This clear and specific goal makes it easier to follow through. "I will go for a 20-minute walk every morning before work." This not only sets a clear intention, but also helps in creating a structured routine. The more specific we are, the easier it is for our brains to latch onto the habit and turn it into a routine. Specificity helps in reducing ambiguity and makes the habit more tangible and achievable. Chapter 8: The Environment's Influence. We often underestimate the power of our environment in shaping our behavior. If we're constantly surrounded by cues that trigger unhealthy habits, it's going to be much harder to make positive changes. This is where making small adjustments to our environment can have a big impact. Want to eat healthier? Remove unhealthy snacks from your pantry and replace them with fruits and vegetables. Want to read more? Keep a book on your nightstand and put away your phone an hour before bed. By making our environment conducive to our desired habits, we make it easier for ourselves to make those choices automatically. Chapter 9: 4 Laws, Practical Applications. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, outlines 4 laws of behavior change that can help us build better habits, make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. These laws are designed to help us understand the mechanics of habit formation and how we can leverage them to our advantage. These laws provide a practical framework for applying the principles of habit formation to our own lives. By understanding and implementing these laws, we can create lasting changes that lead to a more productive and fulfilling life. Make it obvious. Use visual cues like sticky notes or habit trackers to remind yourself of your desired habits. These visual reminders can serve as triggers that prompt you to take action, making it easier to stay on track. Make it attractive. Pair your new habit with something you enjoy. By associating your habit with a positive experience, you increase the likelihood of sticking with it. For example, listen to a podcast you love while going for a walk. This not only makes the habit more enjoyable, but also turns it into something you look forward to. Make it easy. Break down your habit into smaller, more manageable steps. By simplifying the process, you reduce the friction that can often prevent you from starting or continuing a habit. Make it satisfying. Reward yourself for sticking to your habit, even in small ways. These rewards can reinforce the positive behavior, making it more likely that you'll continue to practice the habit over time. Sharing your progress with friends or family can also add an extra layer of satisfaction, as social support and recognition can be powerful motivators. Chapter 10: Embrace the Journey. Building atomic habits is not about achieving perfection overnight, but about consistent effort. It's about embracing the journey of continuous improvement, one small step at a time, every day. Remember, even the smallest changes, when compounded over time, can lead to remarkable transformations. So start small, be patient, and trust the process of growth. You have the power within you to achieve your goals and create a life you love, one atomic habit at a time. With that being said, you can share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more thought-provoking content. Thanks for watching.